In the future, the landfill is getting thinner and thinner. Oxygen is getting low. Farming needs more land than usual later. The population is getting manier. So, farming lettuce will be farming on floating platforms in the ocean or on near the beach. They harvest the lettuce with using boats. They're like city blocks with squares and a canal in the middle. And we also need to harvest salmon in the river by using ball-shaped baskets or getting sardines using the same method but at the ocean. And that also needs technology. Technology uses skill. And we need to calculate it using math. We also needed language, reading, and coding. For tomorrow in the future, cars will be electric and they can talk and needs to be charged. And because they're still robots, you need to also teach them by talking how to drive that way and that way. Locate position. Oxygen is also running out, so we need to filter oxygen from the other gases in the air. And we also need to farm phytoplankton, which gives off oxygen. And it also needs learning. Artificial animals will also be used. Dolphin populations are getting smaller. And then now there is a robot dolphin already in a zoo in the USA. And it also needs coding. Robots will be also used. Coding or programming the robot dolphin how to jump into the air using its tail fin or to control with its dorsal fin, artificial dorsal fin and tail fin will also be needed. It has it's almost made of all rubber with some motors. The rubber is for waterproofing, covered in a kind of slime like a dolphin would have, so it doesn't look like a robot. And it also needs skill to make that kind of gooey substance. In the future, cities will be floating in the ocean. So, tsunami waves would just pass through, and the little blocks of city would just float on top of the waves. But because they have weight in down below them, it will feel like flat ground. Artificial islands are also needed. Even tomorrow, we also need to live underwater with submarines, which is also programmed. Oxygen needed because it's in the water. Skill is also used there, and math to check the weight of the submarine that it could sink or even cannot go inside the water. Tomorrow, in the future, maybe people will start farming seaweed instead of lettuce, or maybe farming potatoes, lettuce, celery, tomatoes in the ocean. Potatoes also need soil, so we need to make a pit that can float in water and fill it with soil from land. Seaweed also needs something to grow to. So we need some small submarines to go below the surface of the water and harvest them. It also needs oxygen tanks. Language is also needed. And coding needs computers. So, using math and other skills for technology, we can use solar panels on houses. And later, maybe even packaging uses some small robots that look like bugs on wheels. On restaurants, there will be talking robot or their tables have screens on them so you can order food. Robots will almost be everywhere, which is programmed to do something, like robot horses. And remember the robot dolphin? It needs to be cold like a real dolphin. And cars needs to go flying. And cars tomorrow will be electric. So solar panels are needed a lot. But the land is getting smaller and almost no room for it for solar panels. So solar panels may be put in deserts or using supporting rods, metal rods. Solar panels can be put near the ocean. The rods will stick to the solar panel and go down with branches to stick into other rods, metal rods of the other solar panels, and the other end will drill into the seafloor. The solar panel will be lifted from the surface of the water for maybe about 7 meters above the surface of the water. And islands are also disappearing, so artificial islands are needed. And because of that, we also need language and also positive emotions like feeling happy, which needs reading, sports, social, language, and sports. Food is also needed, so that's why celery needs to still grow even in water with floating flakes or inside glass domes in the water with the glass rod up into the surface of the water and has a cap on top. That's why the people who is farming can go inside and take the one that's already ripped for harvesting. So the harvester needs to get into it and get them from the dome. If not, they gotta go into the dome and using that rod they can harvest and plant some more. Strawberries, for example, can be grown in these dome things. Fish will be printed And meat will also be the same, printed already in chops of shapes, like the first salmon who was printed, which is one part of the meat. And that also goes into technology.